Good morning, familia, or good afternoon, depending when you're watching this. Day 25 today is December 12th, so about 13 days before Christmas. I'm down 18 pounds. And I wanted to talk today about, because it's on my mind a lot, my wife got a surgery called a SADIE S. It's see if I can remember this, a single anastomosis duodenal ileal with sleeve gastrectomy. It's called a SADIE S. So really what they do is when your food goes down to the stomach, they kind of cut off most of the stomach, so it's just a little pouch. Then they attach it. They skip most of the small intestine, really. And it bypasses a lot of the small intestine. So, you're not absorbing the same nutrients. You're not eating as much. Now, of course, there was a lot of prep before the surgery, and it was where her life was being impacted. My wife started at about 345 pounds. She went through the test with the doctors. The doctor said, yes, you definitely qualify for it, but you need to do some pre-work. You have to eat and you have to exercise. And she lost about 30 or 40 pounds. And the reason they do it is to make sure that she's safe for the surgery. She had the surgery. It's a very scary surgery, but there's an amazing doctor here where we live. He's known for doing this. The surgery lasted a couple hours. It was painful for her. Like she says, she can't drink sodas anymore, for example, because of the bubbly. She can't eat certain things anymore because of, it's still healing and it's going to affect her and all that stuff. So, needless to say, that was back in April, I believe, of 2024. We are now in December. She's lost 115 pounds, maybe closer to 120 pounds. She looks amazing. She feels amazing. Yes, eventually someone getting a SADIE S, or the bypass, or what they call it, a sleeve. But this one's actually more advanced surgery, a more modern one. It combines a couple of surgeries together. But apparently, if you continue to go back to your old ways, yes, your stomach can grow, and yes, you go right back to your old ways. So it's a lifestyle. It's not a temporary thing. And this was a very expensive surgery, but our insurance covered it, because my wife was at a point where she was very unhealthy, and it was very dangerous for her health. It was really sad. She saw herself and she would just start crying, and it's really sad. That I think that got to me too, because you see your partner and you want to help them, and you don't know what to do. You can't do that quick. Hey, let me lose 50 pounds by tomorrow. That doesn't happen, obviously. When I would say, hey, let's go walk. Oh, it hurts. Hey, let's change our ways. Well, we're Hispanic. We love to eat socially. We love to eat with a bunch of people. We love tortillas. We like our arroz, which is rice. We like she's Central American, so she loves her what she calls pancito, which is pastries, and lots of coffee. Coffee is very common in our circles, and that's how we have fun. As we go and hey, come over and let's talk for a little bit. And that's what we do. We don't drink alcohol, so we drink coffee and pastries, and that was very rough for us. It's always been rough. A little bit more about me is, I saw how well she was doing. I saw how great she felt. She started wearing clothes that she hadn't worn in a long time. She felt great about herself. And here I am gaining weight and gaining weight and gaining weight. I'm at 295 pounds and thinking, my wife is looking amazing and I'm looking like garbage. Yes, it's Christmas. Yes, we're Hispanic. Yes, you've got the dad bod, but this is getting out of control. I don't know if I mentioned, but I have a CPAP machine, which is the machine to help me because I snore a lot. And just to give you an example of how serious it was, a normal person, there are things called events when you sleep. An event is a disruption in your breathing and a disruption in your sleep. Normal people can have less than 10 an hour, preferably around 4 or 5, I would think would be okay. When they did a sleep test on me, I had 88 events an hour. Think about this for a minute. Every hour I would have 88 times where my sleep would get disrupted. Yes, that includes holding my breath. I couldn't breathe. That's where I would just kind of stop, gasp for air. My wife would wake up repeated times thinking I had stopped breathing, and she would wake me up as well. So that was really rough. I did get the machine. I was wearing it for 2 months, but I've been on it for about 2 months. It's kind of annoying. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I would wake up with a headache every day because of that breathing. I would be very exhausted. I have noticed that since I started Carnivore, I have not had one single headache. 21 days, I have not had one single headache. Or 25 days, I think, sorry. I've not had one single headache. So that's another thing I forgot to mention. So people are wondering, should I have the surgery? Should I not have the surgery? We do have a very, very good friend in the family who she wants to do surgery, the same type of surgery my wife did. Her insurance covers it. Her husband's like, no, it's too dangerous. Don't do it. And finally he gave in because this friend of ours, she's at the point of tears already, where she just sees herself and she's like, wow, I'm just so out of control. I want to lose 50 pounds, she said last night, but I'm thinking 50 pounds you can lose. Here I am losing 18 pounds. My wife lost 30 to 40 just on eating better. So yes, it could be done without being, like Dr. Barry says, mutilating your stomach. And it really is. When you see the type of surgery, SADIS, SADIS, it just totally massacres the inside of your digestive system. Your life changes forever. My wife can't go back to it. She can't do certain things for the rest of her life. I could, if I wanted to, eat a pastry right now and I'll be okay. In my mind it'll guilt me, and I won't do it, but I could do it. In fact, I told myself that once I hit maybe 30 pounds, I can go eat Chinese food. That's my favorite. I could have Chinese food every day if I could. In fact, I've joked about, I know it sounds stupid, but I could, if the home fragrances, I would love to get a Chinese food home fragrance. I love Chinese food that much. I know it sounds stupid, but so if you're thinking about the surgery, try carnivore. Just give it, like Dr. Barry says, give it 30 days. He'll give it 2 weeks. After a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, you're going to feel totally different. I don't feel bloated. I don't feel my joints are hurting. I sleep better, no headaches. I'm not as irritated. I've got, again, the CPAP machine. Again, numbers won't lie. So when this is all said and done, when I'm done with this, because people are like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing carnivore. What's that? It's just beef, bacon, eggs, water. Well, that's it. What about fruit? You got to eat fruit. No fruit. What about vegetables? You have to eat vegetables. They're good for you. No, they're plant-based. And you know what I tell people is, let me just do this. Give me 90 days. Give me 30 days. I'll show you the results. Numbers don't lie. When you do the blood test, when you see the weight loss, when you see how someone's, we always say, at church, the fruits of your labor. What are you doing? Your actions, they speak louder than your words. So hopefully you're still trying this. If you're tempted to do this, go along with it. Start it. Watch Dr. Ken Berry. It's really cool Q&A podcast that he has videos several times a week. Just get educated. We've been doing this our whole lives. Again, I was raised Hispanic. In fact, when I was little, I used to be called gordito. They called me gordo. Gordo is a very endearing term nowadays, where we call our kids gordo, and it means fat. But we say it lovingly. And as a kid, I grew up resenting my parents, my grandparents, my aunts and my uncles because they called me gordo. In fact, my younger brother, Eric, he used to bully me and call me because I was chubby. And back in the 80s, you didn't see overweight kids too much. You kind of did, but not too much. He used to call me gorda. Gorda means fat, but it's a feminine term. So it really stuck with me. I'll never forget that. And I've forgiven him for it, but it does traumatize you. So I know, and I've been through this my entire life, overweight. But I said no more. I've got my kids. I've got one of my kids here in the back, my youngest. He's asleep. He fell asleep. I took my other kids to school, and this guy just came with me, and he fell asleep. And he knows that daddy is eating better. He knows that mommy's eating better. He knows that we're trying different clothes. I started wearing clothes this past weekend that I hadn't worn in over a year. It's exciting. It's exciting to see the results. It's exciting to see people's reaction. But more than that, it's exciting that my marriage is better. I'm a better father. I'm a better human. So try it. If you have any questions, put them in there. I will do my best to answer it, or I give you a resource for it. Peace and felicidades, and I'll see you in this journey. I'll see you until the next time.